Welcome everybody to another episode of Bro Talk. I'm your co-host Sunesh Chawla, or Sunny, and I have with me the other co-host Dylan Oakland. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I didn't realize I was the co-host.
We're co-hosts. We're partners in
We need to
venture
come
here.
up to we need to decide what this is. Like,
just-
is it my show? And like
It's our show.
It's our show, baby.
It's our show.
Okay. We're gonna get comfortable with some dad jokes. Oh, it's not with my glasses. What's going on? You want to start with the dad jokes?
I'll start with a dad joke.
Okay. Now we're doing the whole not laughing challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because your face is gonna fuck me up like it did last time.
Your face always fucks me up.
Okay.
Here we go. My wife just completed a 40-week bodybuilding program this morning. It's a baby girl and weighs 7 pounds and 12 ounces.
That was okay.
Your turn.
What do you call a Punjabi guy stuck in the middle of the ocean?
What?
I'm in deep trouble.
That was good. That was good. Kind of laughed.
It was
there.
tasteful.
That was hit close to home.
Yeah, I know. That was the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Dad jokes are a lot like sex. The louder you groan, the better job I'm doing.
That was okay.
It's all
I mean,
right.
you can do better.
I'm saving the best one for last.
They better get better here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This one's gonna get me canceled. You already lost.
No,
Okay.
I just made a sound. I didn't laugh.
Okay. What do you call a gender neutral person who is lactose intolerant?
What?
Non-binary.
Damn it! That's a 1-to-1. Oh Lord! You had 3. That was your last one, right?
That was my second.
That was your second.
That was my second.
That was your third.
That was
no?
my second.
That was your second.
My first one was the
Oh, shit,
Punjabi
that's right,
guy.
that's right, because I started first.
Yeah, we got 4, right?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
go ahead.
So I'll save the best one for last, but I'm reading a horror story in Braille. Something bad's gonna happen. I could just feel it.
You can't see where it was going. Damn it.
Too good.
That was good. That was good. You know where it's going, but that
Mhm.
was good. Did I ever tell you about that girl I once dated who only had 9 toes?
Hmm.
I mean, she was lovely. It was great, but I had to break it off with her. Turns out I'm lactose intolerant.
You already used one lactose intolerant.
No,
joke. It's
come on.
gone.
That was good. Wow. That was like my best. You got 4, right?
This is my last one right here.
Okay.
I started a support group for people with erectile dysfunction. It was it was a total flop and nobody came. The delivery was bad.
That was all right. Oh, man.
I'm crying.
This one's going to be pretty basic, but what did Newton think when he discovered gravity?
Hmm.
Shit is about to go down.
That's a good one.
You like that?
Yeah.
You like that? I didn't get a reaction out of you, though.
You didn't.
Straight faced. You got one more?
No, that was 4.
it. That was
four.
it? Okay.
If you have another one, please go ahead.
Nah, I do have one more.
Go for it.
Okay. I hired a handyman and gave him a to-do list recently,
Mm-hmm.
but he ended up only doing jobs 1, 3, and 5. I guess he only does odd jobs.
That was so stupid. It was funny. This always happens.
I love it.
Oh
I love
my
it, man.
gosh. Well, it's been such a long time
I
since we've done a
know, man.
podcast episode. I mean, I've gone to Michigan a couple times since then.
I feel like we haven't caught up at
We
all
haven't.
since the last episode,
We
which was what, last October or something?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, man, it's been too long. I mean, other than just a little bit for hockey,
That's crazy.
we haven't really caught up at all.
You tell me what's been going on in your life.
Work, I'm getting old, I'm falling apart. Creaking, knees hurt, wrists are
Oh,
hurt, broke
I wonder
my
why the wrists are
hand.
hurting.
Yeah, a lot of lonely nights by myself.
Mm.
Had a fracture in my left hand. Both knees are bad. I can't breathe. It's been a shit year, man. And it's 2023. It's supposed to be a good year.
Jeez.
Other than that, man, life is okay. I still got my dogs. I got them. My mom's doing good.
Good.
And this is a depression episode with Dylan and Sunny.
Jeez. I mean,
How about you, man? What's going on? How was we haven't really talked about Michigan.
yeah, we haven't. So life's been getting a little better for me. School is kind of in its hardest stages right now with I'm taking solid mechanics, fluid mechanics. What else am I taking? Intro to CAD design and intro or principles of electrical engineering. So these are all things like words that are probably too big for you to understand,
Yep,
but it's okay.
I'm in freshman comp too right now.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. I took that 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So how are you doing in that class?
I'm actually killing it. It's actually
I hope you're writing those essays with ChatGPT.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Wow, you could be saving
Of
a lot
course
more
not.
time doing some physical therapy instead of writing essays.
I like to write. I enjoy writing. That's the thing with my agency that I like the most is writing ads, but we are using ChatGPT for that. But I do like to write.
Okay,
So,
that's fair.
I know you're using a lot for. So tell me about your classes. Like what's
Yeah, so I mean, solid mechanics is really just like it's testing different loads. You know a lot about loads, but these are actually static loads. So what happens is like there's beams, there's different tables, for example.
Mm-hmm.
We take this table, we get the dimensions of it, we get the material of it. And let's say, for example, I don't know, we put a 50-pound weight on here. Where is its breaking point? Where is the weakest point of the table? That's what we test with solid mechanics. Fluid mechanics is that, but with like different viscosity fluids. So it's like the heating point of oil or how like thin.
You're getting off on how smart you sound right now, don't you?
Not really. I mean, this is all just like handyman stuff. Just doing odd jobs.
Doing odd jobs.
Yeah. I know about this stuff because like when I changed oil in my car, because I drive an internal combustion engine vehicle, unlike someone here.
I haven't told you about my Tesla bullshit.
You're getting off on your Tesla rant, aren't you?
Okay, listen. I love electric. We got to get back to your school, but I love electric. For 90% of people, it's absolutely perfect. I'm so pissed about the quality control of my Tesla. I've had it in for service like 9 times.
I told you this.
I don't remember you telling me this at all.
I told you about the first podcast episode when I dressed up like a very fancy.
You looked good.
Yeah. With the beard longer than you know what.
Was it really longer?
Very.
Oh
yeah. I watched the episode yesterday.
You do look a lot younger now. Okay.
And I actually have a haircut on Wednesday, so I'm gonna look even younger. I cut the mullet off too. Like
I miss that.
I'm a changed man.
You are.
Yeah.
So this new girl. But tell me more about Tesla.
Yeah.
We gotta
that's the most.
We have so much to cover, man.
There's a lot. So school is just school. It's just a lot. It's a lot more of the foundational engineering classes rather than just the bullshit like math and science and stuff. This semester and next semester are going to be my hardest. UCF is just a shit show because professors aren't good. Class sizes are getting bigger and bigger. They over enrolled by 5,000 kids, by the way. So finding a parking spot is damn near like
maybe it's the shortage of teachers. Because they're all leaving the Nazi regime.
Both. It's we're just highlighting what we're going to talk about.
Yes, we're just thing, huh? The fascist hellscape that Florida is becoming.
Yeah, and then other than that, just apart from school, because that takes up most of my time. A few people know it. The shirt says it itself. I interned for GM, so I'm a manufacturing engineer there. So basically, what that means is I'm a mechanical engineer by school, but by profession, I'm a manufacturing engineer where all the processes from dropping all the supplies or like the supplier's stock, all the items that go on the car into the docks, all the way to the operators putting them on the actual vehicle. That whole process is conducted by people like me. So we have to find more efficient ways using automation because, as you might know, the UAW strike is happening right now, and GM is getting hit really badly because of it.
Is production totally stopped? I should be careful.
In one of the plants it is because they have like walkouts. They had walkouts for 3 different plants throughout the 3 companies of the big 3 in Detroit. GM specifically, it was Wentzville's plant, so they produced the midsize truck. Their production stopped because all the workers just decided to walk out and say, you're not paying us enough.
Good.
It's a multi-billion-dollar company. So I don't have much to say because I don't focus on.
You can't talk about that.
So I actually have to focus on automation, which is
replacing
them, but it's not what I can't talk about what I worked on, so to speak, but at the same time, the automation that I'm doing is not coherent with, it's not like hand in hand with what the operators are doing. It's just a lack of efficiency that I'm working on.
Yeah.
So for the most part, that's pretty much what I do over at GM. I get to go to Michigan. It's the same weather as down here, so it kind of sucks. But other than that, just a lot of self growth to myself. I'm in a dorm room all by myself, just kind of just thinking about things. So other than that, that's pretty much been that part. And then the third thing that I'm focusing on is just growing Chalvo Media. I hit 500 followers yesterday.
Nice.
So I might have to hit you up.
We haven't talked about business at all.
We haven't.
So much to catch up on.
There is a lot. Yep. But I'm actually working on I've kind of focused on the niche since the last time we talked about it, where I'm just taking a full send on car photography and stuff. It's been very slow recently. But with the growth of social media, which is another thing we'll talk about with like creating your own social media thing, a lot of people are looking into Instagram Reels, TikTok, stuff like that. So they want those flashy videos that everybody's like, oh, I want this. So it grabs more attention and people can jerk off to my car. Like that's all it is. So Do you think
people would jerk off to my car?
There's too many of your car.
It's too
What are they going to jerk off to? The panel gaps?
Wow.
The door handle's not working?
The door handles work.
Oh,
okay.
Barely.
The creaks. Make sounds.
Exactly.
Lots of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So point proven. My Accord's at 75,616 miles, and because of the
who knows that?
Because I looked at it today. Sorry, I actually have a speedometer and a gauge cluster in front of me, unlike you with a fucking iPad.
The first time I ever
tablet, baby.
When I had to find the mileage the first time for like insurance or whatever, I was like, where the hell do I go? And I'm like, okay, it's like 5 prompts in.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not, but who needs to know their mileage?
People who care about their car. I mean, you don't have any oil changes that are needed, but when you have to go into the Tesla, center and tell them, okay, well, how old is this door handle? Oh, it's 6,000.
And they can instantly pull it up on the computer.
Of course, because it's just iPad to iPad. You ever airdrop a picture from your Mac to your phone?
Yeah, all the time.
That's all they have to do.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Tesla, I got into this before, but Tesla is not a vehicle company. They are a data collection company.
Wow. Okay.
They basically, I don't know if you know, but like, all the people that they've sold their cars to, they don't track them per se, but the more you drive your Tesla, the more it maps out like next year's maps for you. So like if you're in a neighborhood that just got built 2 months ago, you driving your Tesla around is mapping it for them.
Yeah, that's good.
So it is a
really
cool
more
thing.
Manufacturers are going to get into that. Yeah.
But at the same time, like that means that your main product that you're selling, aka the Teslas, they're not going to be that good. And you know why they're not that good?
Why, Sonny?
Because they focus too much on automation in the plant. There's not a single like worker that is putting on these things on the car. It's all robots. So if you're off by 0.0001%, it pushes the rest of the car away. And that's why you've got a gap that you could probably stick your dick in.
I actually don't have any gaps problems.
Really?
Yeah, which I was surprised about. I know that was a huge problem. But I've had a lot of, like I said, 8 or 9 service appointments I've had to take it in for various sounds and stuff like that. Dude, I'll never buy one.
You know what
again.
you should do?
What?
You should sell it, and you should get either an Audi A5 or you should get a Dodge Ram 1500 diesel with a trailer. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
There you go.
I keep thinking about trading it out and getting with what's going on in Florida, man. I keep that every day. I'm thinking about selling my house. Trading in the car, getting a Ram, getting a truck, getting a fifth wheel.
That's it.
And just traveling around the country.
I would
going
love to
off grid.
Yeah.
Disappearing.
So how are you going to make it to our Friday night hockey games if you're going to go off the grid?
I would have to retire. I would have to. The boys would be so disappointed.
I know. All those missed passes, wide left shots, and stealing the puck away from me. I have a video of you doing that.
Really? That play?
That exact play.
Oh, that is glorious.
And I'm gonna.
You gotta send that to me.
Whoever's editing it, please put it right here, please. But it's a beautiful. You could see how frustrated I was through the glass, and when I was skating over to the back to the bench, you could just see me go like, "What the hell?"
Okay, so let's recap this time.
What were you thinking?
Yeah, whatever the play was going on, the way I remember it is you were like turning, and I was already on the breakout. So it was like I am faster than you, right? Like that is one thing I got. Okay, I am faster than you, so I'm like, I'm going to be able to blow right past this. So I just picked up your stick, stole the puck, and went on my way. And you know what happened?
What happened?
I scored.
It was an offsides play, Dylan.
No, it wasn't. Not
Yes,
that
it
play.
was.
Guarantee you. Wait, are you talking about the recent one? Like this?
The one that just happened like on Friday.
Okay, now that was different. I'm talking about the one from like a year ago. That was a beauty.
Okay, that was
The
one thing.
OG.
See, this is your thing. You'll do it. You'll do something wrong once, and you're like, okay,
I got to do it again.
So then you have to try it 6 more times. Like, for example, when we're down and you decide to win the face-off towards them,
Yeah.
and then they end up just breaking out and scoring.
It's never happened.
That just happened last game.
I was injured. Okay. Wait, on Friday, did I steal it from you again?
Yes.
I didn't. I thought it was Alex.
So I'll recap the play again. I could even show you it if you wanted, but I'll recap the play where basically the puck was on the offsides line. It was like right before.
Not how I remember it.
The footage is there. The evidence is there. The cameras were on.
I remember it was offside.
Okay. So, and you want to know why I was offside?
Because
I was trying to get it away from the defender to reset, because I don't like to just take strides. I'd like to have the whole team there.
Listen, man, when I'm on the ice, it's balls to the wall, all out speed.
It's also your knee to the wall too.
It's like,
I was trying to turn around, and you go in between me and the defender and just take the puck. I'm already halfway into the zone trying to get the puck away, and then you decide to just take it from me, and that's what calls it offsides. And everybody on the team was like, why the hell did he just do that? And everybody in the other team was,
listen, I'm a loose cannon out there. Okay. Like, nobody can explain what's going on with my plays.
I have no clue. But
I just charge ahead and kind of
point proven
kind
at
of
that
bounce
point.
off the wall. Yeah.
So,
strategy is not something I'm very good at with hockey.
I see that.
Yeah. I need more of like Aiden's ability to see the whole ice. Me, I'm just like, I need to skate as fast as possible.
I can tell. I can tell. So going back to the original idea prior to hockey and stuff,
talking shit on Tesla.
Even before that, the business is growing.
Good.
Business is booming. I'm actually working on a couple shirt designs I'd like for you to model. But they have to do with the international tracks that I go and visit to take pictures of. So the front's a very simple design. It's just says Chavla Media right here. On the back is where I like to get a little crazy, and I take photos of the cars that I took pictures of.
I think I saw you put some of that on Instagram or Snap or something.
Yep. Yeah. And this morning I was just working on it. I'm almost finished with the second design, but they look good on brown skin. They might look good on white skin too. That's for you to decide.
I'm kind of tan. I'm a little burnt.
More
right
red,
now.
yeah. And it's like a matcha green, and it's like a periwinkle blue. And the merch line, a lot of people are in demand for this. They're all like, oh, like, the prices are really good. I'm making some good money out of it. Yep. Yeah. So a lot of people want to rep me because they say, well, I don't want to spend $200 on a photo shoot with you because I have nothing to take photos of, but I want to support your business because they're good friends. So shout out all my friends out there. But
Carlos, do you think he just tried to manipulate me into buying a t-shirt right there?
And I did a good job.
I mean, you just sold me. Like,
there it is.
My good friends want to support me.
I should minor in business. So
wow. Yeah, just a little bit of guilt. I think I have my 3 drinks just like spread out. Yeah, this is going on.
I got my 2 right here. But yeah, so other than that, just life has been better. That's cool. The biggest takeaway that I have from this summer is recent events that have happened that I will not name or talk about. Is basically...
Was that a wink at your girl right there?
No, it was a wink at everybody because shit's just going well in my life for the first time.
That's good.
Yeah.
You have 2 semesters left.
2 years.
2 years. Good.
2 semesters that are going to be the toughest. But I graduate in summer of 25. It was going to be spring, but UCF, like I said, fucked me over. So summer of 25.
UCF fucked you over, or you slacked?
No, UCF fucked me over. So what happened was they decided to they took a class called Modeling Methods and narrowed it down to 1 professor, capped the capacity to 250 kids, and the wait list was like 50 people long. I tried registering for the class because I took a class that was a prerequisite for that over the summer, so I couldn't sign up for it beforehand. And that was a class that all my classes that were supposed to be for next year or next semester got pushed to next year, because it's prerequisite over prerequisite over prerequisite. So now I got stretched over another semester because of that. So it's all a shit show.
You don't take any classes during the summer?
Well, I can't anymore because they're all fall spring classes because they're super important engineering ones. They're not Comp 2 or Intro to Chemistry or I don't know, whatever else you take as a sophomore.
Right now I'm in liberal arts, mathematics 2 or
mathematics 2.
It's something.
Is it Calc 2?
No, it's here's the thing, man. I don't care about any of those classes. I'm not getting an engineering degree. I just want to get to UCF so I can take the political classes. Right.
But you realize that getting a degree in
I don't care.
Florida or in the United States, you have to take general credit classes, like for example,
I know. And
so
I need
math,
to take,
math is one of them.
I need to take the general classes to get the associates to get into UCF.
Okay.
So that's otherwise I wouldn't take that. Like when I get
That's
to
fair.
UCF, I'm not going to be taking any of those classes. I'm just
Mhm.
going to be taking, guns and media between 1970 and
media.
1980.
Makes sense. I'm yet to find a class like that. Like I would have taken it, but the closest I
The
got,
guns class?
any of them. But like,
There's like 60 really good
but
political
as
classes at
an
UCF.
engineer, you have to like you can only take so many of those certain classes, or else you have to be like in that major. I wanted to take like intro to photography, just so easy A.
Yeah.
But they were like, you have to be like a digital media major, and I'm not gonna double major because costs, all that stuff.
Not worth
It's
it
a
for you.
whole different
Yeah.
like rabbit hole I don't want to jump down. So other than that, though, life has been good, and the biggest thing that I've realized is not to take anything for granted. So a lot more like a self-realization journey that I've been on this for 2023.
Oh, I just didn't want to forget.
Mm-hmm.
I got you a gift.
Oh my guy, the Daily Stoic.
Yes.
This was I was not even 3 days ago. I was gonna start buying a couple more books because I started reading. That's another thing I didn't tell
Good,
you
man.
about. But the Daily Stoic is what Dylan got me. I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man. So we've talked about Stoicism before.
Mhm.
This is kind of just like an intro book. Have you read any Stoicism?
No.
So,
I know what it is, like briefly of what it is, but I haven't gone down anything.
So what I like the most about this is it's just every day you have a little bit to read, and then it kind of breaks it down. Very digestible,
Mhm.
for basics. Somebody just starting to get into Stoicism.
Perfect.
I've had mine for like 3 years. Every single day I read it, and I'm like 3 times through it. But there you go, man. Get you
Awesome.
started on that Stoicism.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
all the
much.
little things, and there you go, buddy.
Thank you. This is another thing I'm very appreciative for. So I really appreciate that. So yeah, just overall a lot more to be thankful for.
You gonna talk about the girl?
Not really. I mean, there's not much behind it. I don't want to publicize it, too much. She even got me the evil eye bracelet.
She got you a bracelet?
Matching one.
How long have you two been together?
You're basically gonna get me through oh my god. Okay, it's a good thing we post clips and not the whole podcast. But so her and I have been on and off for 7 years.
Okay.
She was younger than me by 2 years, and it was high school, middle school. So I was like, yeah, nah, no, thank you. Not trying to catch a case. So time went by. I like any time that she liked me, I was with a girl. When she was of age, I started to like her, and she was with a guy. So like it was just went this way for 7 years. So I've liked her for 5. She liked me for 7. We were each other's best friends until
She's brown.
she is brown, yes, thankfully.
Yeah. For reference.
Yeah,
Okay.
If you want to cue the last.
Yeah, Justin can cue that in. So there's a reference point of why I just said that.
I'm gonna stop going for white girls because they all have the same personality, or at least I think they do. And because of that, it just has kind of scarred me. And to every white girl that tries to talk to me, I'm gonna shoot them off. Nah, bro. Like,
Do you actually do that?
sometimes it depends. You don't season your chicken, get the fuck away from me. But like not actually, but I mean like in putting this back into terms of what we were talking about. This is why I'm looking for a brown girl.
Wow.
Walk away.
Dude. Look at this racist motherfucker.
Nah, it's not actually like that. But putting it back into terms of what we were talking
It's
about.
like that.
No, it's not, I promise.
It's like that.
I
That's
promise.
exactly what he just described.
Nah. You cute white girls watching, I'm still looking out.
I showed her that, and then she was like all happy and giddy about that. And then the last part where I was like, "White girls, I'm looking out for you," she just like shut it off. She's like, she deleted off her phone. I was like, "Fuck." But yeah. Other than that, it's just like when you kind of have this come around of someone from the past coming back for a beneficial reason, and you start to realize all the things that you did that you kind of fucked up over, and it's just a huge realization in yourself that
This is like a hopeless romantic Sonny.
it is. Nobody's ever seen this side of me.
Dude,
Ever.
I'm so.
And like, I got her a gift. I'll show you off camera, but it's in my bag too. Got her a gift, and it's like this little like.
How long have you two been talking?
We've been talking
but like okay,
properly talking 4 months.
Okay, so it's been like 4 months. We're like, hey, we're gonna maybe make this a relationship.
We are making it a relationship.
Where's she from?
Fort Myers. That's where I'm from.
Okay, all right. So
So-
when you're done with college, was she gonna? You gonna?
So you want
get
to
married?
know the part of Tennessee that you were like, is that all? So she's actually moving to Tennessee when she's done as well. So it
You're
works.
gonna
It works
move
out.
to Tennessee
No.
for a girl.
I'm not.
You're
Because
gonna
I'm
leave the boys for a girl.
So I'm not graduating
Until
and moving to.
2020.
I'm graduating a year
Mhm.
before her. I also have made it a goal last year that I was going to move to Tennessee. When I started working for GM and I found out that they have a plant in Spring Hill,
Mhm.
I was like, well,
That's
that's
outside Nashville, right?
Yep, 30 minutes, not even. That's where the nice roads are. That's where the nice weather is. It snows a little bit there. I
Mhm.
can maintain having a golden retriever there. I've already looked up all this stuff. So my life has been set since last year. Then this was just an added incentive, a la carte, if you will.
So that she's going to Nashville.
Everything just works out.
What's she going to
perfectly.
Nashville for?
So she wants to be a pediatrician.
Okay.
And there in Tennessee, pediatricians pay better than like 47 out of the 48 contiguous U.S. states.
Yeah.
So her mom also really likes Nashville too. So I was like, well,
There you go.
bam, 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 bam. My parents also really like Nashville, so they would like
I
whenever
love
they
it
come
up there,
in.
dude.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
The mountains are one of my favorite things to photograph and like just be around. And you can like when it's time for me to buy a house, I can get plots of land, build a go-kart track, just do all the fun shit that I've wanted to do. So I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself, which is a mistake that I made years ago. And now I'm just taking things as they come, little by little. If God's got
So,
a different
like,
plan for me.
2 weeks from now, when she breaks your heart, we'll circle back around to this
At
conversation.
least give it 2 months.
2
not
months.
2 weeks.
Okay.
But no, everything is just coming together. Like my
Are you
relationship.
going to show us what the gift is?
I
mean, this is
because
gonna-
it won't be. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
when are you giving
right.
it to her?
I'm giving it to her on Friday.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
So
it's
yeah,
going
that
live
should
till
be
then.
fine then, I guess.
I just need to find her location so I can like target her with
With
reels,
ads.
with ads. And
That'd be
show.
hilarious. I can definitely do that for you. But
Oh.
yeah, everything's just coming together very well. Here it is. It's a book that I made.
You made this?
I made that.
Oh, do you see this?
I'm a hopeless romantic now.
Wow.
Gone are the days of me being a
2,
toxic
I
brown
can't say
boy.
her name.
Yeah, that's fine.
Dude. Wow.
Did you not like ever see this side of me?
Hi, babe. I can
Oh,
officially
okay,
call
okay,
you
okay,
my friend.
okay.
That's all I'll read. That's all I'll read. Wow.
So if anyone
This
needs any
guy
gift giving
is
ideas,
head over heels for this girl.
I am.
Wow,
I
man.
tell her that every day.
Dude, this is pretty good. This is, she's going to like this.
Thank you. I showed her sister,
Wow.
and her sister's like the most emotionless person that like not emotionless, but I'm scared of her sister. And she's 14. Like she's one of those like middle schoolers that or like high schoolers that'll like kill you. And yeah, and like I showed her this gift yesterday, and she's like, I can't wait for her to get it. Like I'm glad you put an effort in. I was like, oh my god. So yeah.
Wait. So you two are sitting here watching an Indian movie?
Yeah. And it's in neither of our languages too, so we both have the subtitles on.
Wow, that is fantastic.
The irony.
This is good, man.
We had a because like it's long distance obviously, and we had a movie date, and I actually had her. I printed out like I designed a movie ticket for her, and had her pick it up from like the Walgreens that like that's like close to her.
Mhm.
Now she's got like a movie ticket to that like movie that we watched.
Whoa,
So-
why soft reveals?
So I told you that we both have had a past, and a lot of our friends know about that past. So we haven't just kind of hard revealed like, oh, I'm talking to him or I'm dating him, or I'm talking to her, I'm dating her. So we've kind of been putting little like inks and like glimpses and stuff. Like sometimes like I'll post a picture of my Starbucks and it'll have her name on it or something like that. And that's where if you know, but if you don't know, you're just kind of scratching your head like, what am I missing? So that is
Wow.
that's hopeless romantic, Sonny.
I've never seen
I
that
told you
side
I've
of you.
changed. The mullet's been cut off. The beard's
You're
been
like
shortened.
all straight laced and stuff. You went to Michigan for one summer, and all of a sudden,
Everything kind of fell into place. I realized my place in life. I need to stop looking ahead. I need to stop focusing on 5-10 years from now. Of course, I want to build myself for that. But what can I do today to become a better person?
I don't even know what
tomorrow?
to make of any of this. This is
Neither do
totally
I.
different you, man. But good
It
for you,
is,
man.
yeah.
I'm happy
It's-
for you.
I'm doing a lot healthier stuff too. I've been cooking. So I'm like, my mom looks at me after work and she's like, what the hell are you doing in the kitchen? I've got like my wife beater on, I've got my towel on the side.
Yeah,
I'm,
you're
like,
always posting
chefing
that
it up.
stuff.
Yeah. And like my parents really like my cooking too. From like an Indian mom who has made like food for the whole family for 25 years now.
Yeah.
Or 24 years. It's like, for me to be able to cook for her is an emotional thing. And I've made stuff from like crunch wraps to butter chicken wraps to like What did I make? I made steak for my dad, and he was thoroughly impressed. That's like a holy shit! I just impressed my Indian dad, and like this is the best I've ever felt in my life. So it's a lot of like, you know, the cultural aspects that come in with just the smallest of things is great.
That's
So,
good, man.
Like I said, appreciating every little thing.
Young Sonny is becoming a man.
Yes, I am.
Wow. How times have changed.
They have. So what's
the next topic, man?
I think we should talk about more on your side, because I need a little bit of drink in my system. So I'll let you.
You want
talk
me
a
to be
little bit.
most of the talking?
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about Threads. So Threads, I haven't looked into it. I haven't signed up for it. Nothing.
Okay.
And I knew that coming into this topic. So Threads is Instagram's way of
Twitter.
Exactly. And Twitter, we all know, has been like renamed to
fucking...
X, and it's been a shit show.
Okay, real quick. Not to interrupt you. So I used to be, I just sent a tweet, or I just tweeted this. What's it now called?
A tweet.
Twitter. But that makes no sense.
I agree. Well, what are you about to say? I send my X and X?
I don't know. It was a dumb. It was okay. So go.
I don't understand. But I mean, if you look at Elon's kids' names, XAE-12, what the fuck? And it's apparently some like philosophical name, but I don't know. I can't even tell my rows from fees and all that in calc class. You might not know about that.
I don't.
It's okay. So going past it, Threads, Twitter are now like rivals, so to speak.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies are diving into other companies' social medias, like audiences, and trying to hijack it from them. We see this a lot with like when a new supermarket opens. We see it, you know, when anything happens. Coke has Pepsi, etc. So if you were to create a social media platform for yourself, or for the people, I should say, what social media company would you target? What would the social media brand like? Give me your whole business plan right here. I want it because I have one as well, based on my needs. You know, I'm a photographer, so you might know what I might, you know, start to go over. But for you, I want to know your needs, your wants, your social media company.
So I would, I'm going to answer this in a roundabout way, right? Like I said, what I would start, because I don't know, I would never start a social media company, right? I think what's happening with this, I have a Threads, because you can like automatically sign up through your Instagram or whatever, right? I don't think I've posted. I'm 99% sure I haven't posted anything to it, right?
Crazy for all the shit you talk on Twitter.
Well, I've like really slowed down on Twitter, dude. Like in the last year, it's gone so downhill.
But it could have gone uphill with all the tweets that you send me pictures that you don't send.
I would have got canceled real fast. That stuff went out.
Easily. Right? Wouldn't have lasted a day.
No. But it's gotten so bad with the right wing, the threat, you know, the right wing antics, the threats, all that stuff. I think the biggest, we probably gonna end up talking about AI a little bit. We need a good social, like society. We need a good social media platform where people can genuinely put out statements and people can know this is me, right? I think the big problem that happened over the last year with Twitter was the verification shit, right? When Elon first bought it, and there was a phrase he said, something along the lines of the Lords and Barons program of the verification, right? And this is coming from somebody who, I was verified on Twitter, was verified on Instagram, I was verified on Facebook, right? Like I had the blue check marks, right? I always thought it was really stupid that not anybody can just sign up for it. You had to like apply for it. And it's like, well, you're not big enough yet for it. That's a problem. Okay. So when he first bought it and he talked about anybody's going to be able to have verification, 100% supported that. One, the big problem is that you had to pay for it. Okay. We need something where a poor person in China or Africa or anywhere, somebody who's like living off of $1 a day, can get their voice out into the world, and you could know this is a real person. Okay. I'm really pissed now because we talked once where I don't respond to anybody unless they're verified.
Which I get death threats all the time.
Yeah.
And now I don't respond to anybody unless you're verified. Like unless you're somebody that's big, I won't even talk to you on Twitter. I won't talk to you on Facebook. Like I don't even see the notifications.
It's not like an asshole thing. It's because I don't have time to read all the comments from ultra mega 5821 with like a picture of like an eagle like shooting lasers and like a fucking flamethrower or something. Okay, like that's real. Okay, I don't have the time to look at his comments. Okay, but if it's a real person, if it's a celebrity or a congressman and they're saying something, I want to know about it and be able to respond to it. Right. Yeah. That's what the program used to be for. Now, ultra mega 53128 is fucking verified. And that's a problem. Okay. And then it's not a real person. It's probably a bot, or it is some guy. It's not their real picture. It's not their real name. Okay.
A burner account.
It's a burner account. And they're just going around saying shit. Okay. That's not good. On top of that, again, I still have the bigger problem I have is that you have to pay for it, right? I want the poorest of the poor person to be able to get on Twitter and say, speak about atrocities, speak about things that are going on in the world. And you can know this is John Smith, okay? And he is verified with an ID. That's his real picture. That is a real person. That is the biggest problem, I think, with Twitter right now.
So it's more of like verification and making sure people are who they are.
Yeah, I've had a situation where there was a verified account of me. It wasn't me, okay? And this happens all the time. I'm a nobody, right? It happens all the time. I know, I think AOC has one, okay, where it's like, and all their role is you just have to say somewhere in your profile something like, this is a parody account.
Yeah.
Okay. The problem is then people take screenshots of that, or they share a link. Okay. You and I, we're tech savvy. We're smart enough. I think about people like my brother, right? Super smart dude. He's not tech savvy, right? It's just because he's older and he's not tech savvy, right? If you were to send him a link to one of these parody tweets for AOC or the parody tweet of me, he's going to think it's real because he's not going to know, right? He's not because he's stupid. It's because he doesn't know. He's not tech savvy. That's a problem, okay? And especially with we have what's happening with AI, where we're going to be having videos that are fake.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Audio clips of people that are fake. We need a reliable social media platform where I don't care which side of the political aisle you're on, okay? Where Donald Trump can get on there and say something and you can know Donald Trump wrote this, okay? Or that's his verified account. Or Sonny says this, and this is your account. I say something, it's my account. That's where it needs to be, and it's not there right now.
So you'd basically be able to fix things if you, like, for example, ID.me. If everybody...
What's ID.me?
You don't know what ID.me is?
No.
You call yourself a fucking college student. You can get college discounts and shit on like stuff that you buy through ID.me.
I don't...
Let's say you want a new pair of, I don't know, Nike shoes, right?
Okay.
So what you can do is, on certain companies that offer student discounts, they use ID.me. What do? You sign up for an account, use your college email, and then you take a picture of your actual real ID.
I don't have a college ID.
No. You're like
either
driver's license. Actually, you don't have a college ID?
No, they never gave me one because I've never done in-person classes.
So you would either have to go get one, or you could put there's another way where you can verify it through the school. Yeah. So you send in your information.
I know I could go down to the downtown campus and get one.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So what you do from there is they verify that it is a real person, it is a real ID, and everything stands true from their social security number to, I don't know what you fucking ate for breakfast yesterday. And that's how they verify that you are a student, and then you get the student discount. You have to wait 1 to 2 days, but it shows that it's true. Okay. So that, I think, would be the answer to your problems here, is that if Twitter or Instagram or however you want to voice your opinion, if they use something like ID.me to create an account, then it becomes easy. Now, here's the thing. You're not allowed to use duplicate accounts, because then what's the point in, let's say I airdrop a picture of your ID to myself and I put in a name of I don't know, Dylan Ogline likes cock, and that becomes the username. It's probably you're already
that is my, how did you know?
And I put your ID that I took a picture of, and it creates a second account. That's why they only limit it to one account. Yeah. So if it's limited to one account, what if I want to create a business account about my media profile? So would I have to use the same ID, or would I do this?
So if
right?
you're talking
So
about a business, that's simple, right? Like, okay, you have to show business documentation.
if I'm just have like a run up the pop shop, like how I do with Travel Media, it's not an LLC.
I'm sure
it's-
there's a simple, okay, well, you can do a doing business as.
What was that?
You can do a DBA.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to have like some
So
documentation.
some sort of way to
something,
show
some
it.
sort of documentation, right? Like the vast majority of people that have a business are going to have a corporation or an LLC.
What if
or something.
Sandy's Cupcakes, like that just makes cupcakes at home? Like I see those on Instagram all the time. A lot of my friends will start like bakery businesses and like where they take stuff at home and they publicize it like, oh, this is for sale, or people that like sell Hot Wheels on Instagram.
You're talking about a fringe case that I'm sure that there's a very simple solution, right? You have to sign up for a DBA. You have to do this. Just like you can't open, so say you sell cupcakes on the side, right?
Mhm.
You can't go open up a checking account unless you have some documentation, right?
But there's a difference between a checking account and just saying something on Twitter.
Again, then it should be that you know, Sonny's Cupcakes is
Mhm.
not verified, right? And if
Mhm.
you want to become verified, then you have to provide one of these documentation,
Gotcha.
an LLC, DBA.
So you're okay
Something.
with having unverified accounts?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm
That's
thinking that
the big-
everything is
No.
verified. Okay,
No,
that
my
makes a
big
lot more
problem
sense.
is like Ultra Mega 3812. Okay, I'm okay with him having an account. Okay, I'm okay with the bots. I mean, I think they should try to shut them down. But right, you know, hey, it's a thing. Okay, what I have a big problem with is one, the cost. There should not be a cost
Mhm.
because that means, you know, what's $8 a month or something for Twitter verification. I mean, you know, okay, that's nothing to me. But somebody, the poorest person, okay, in Africa or China or one of these oppressed countries, that's a lot of money, dude. Okay,
Mhm.
that person shouldn't have to pay that. And we need people to be able to speak out and have a way to do that. And on top of that, you have like people who have lost their verification because they didn't want to pay $7 a month.
Mhm.
Okay. And then somebody can create a parody account of them and pretend to be them. And you don't know who the real person is.
Yeah.
And I also think that would really help with a lot of the, like if Ultra Mega 382 says something, you know, calls me an asshole and says I live in my mommy's basement, that means nothing to me, right?
Mhm.
And I'm not even going to respond to that. And most people are going to look at that and be like, yeah, that's some troll. But if, you know, Biden, a verified Biden account gets on my Twitter and says that, people are like, holy shit, like that guy actually said that.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That makes sense.
And I think that's just the way the system is set up right now. I mean, you mentioned talking about conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
Something I was actually, I hate conspiracy theories, right? And I'm going to say this though. If you were to create a textbook, like go to Harvard Business School and say, we're going to give you a social media platform. You just bought a social media platform and you want to burn it to the ground as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Elon is following that playbook to the fucking T,
Yeah.
dude. And it just really makes you wonder why, right? I don't believe he's this, you know, knight of truth who's fighting for the truth, because if he was, then he would want everybody to be verified. You know, you have to provide verification, documentation, but like he would want everybody, and there wouldn't be a fee for that, right? A lot of the money for the Twitter purchase, from my understanding, came from the Saudis and these countries that oppress their people. They don't like Twitter. They don't want free media. They don't want the poor person who's being oppressed by their government to get on social media and be able to publicly say, hey, I'm being oppressed. And then that word spread. They don't want that. So it's almost like if you wanted to destroy the one platform for people to do that, you would give somebody the money and have them burn it to the ground. And I'm not saying that that's what's happening, but like, it just seems like, again, it's not,
right, yeah.
dude, like I think they've lost like 80% of their advertising revenue. Okay. Like that's not being made up by verifications, dude. Okay. Again, textbook burning a social media platform to the ground. That is what he is doing.
That makes sense.
So, do you agree with that?
I agree with it to an extent.
I know you're a big Elon fan.
No, I'm.
You love the
Hello,
Nazis.
I just talk shit about Tesla for God knows how long.
Hey Justin, can you please play back the clip where Sonny says I'm a big Elon fan or something?
I don't think I ever said.
I love you, Elon.
Love you too.
Yeah,
I
you did.
Well,
You
the views have
absolutely did.
changed. Then let's. Say
Was it the
that.
Nazi part?
Hell no.
That was you're okay with the Nazi part?
What do you? No, like I never said that I like the Nazi part. Now you're just speaking.
Okay.
You're unverified.
So what did Elon do that made you say I'm not a fan of that
it,
guy
it
anymore?
really, it was just like when people talk out of their ass a lot, I start to just say, all right, dude, like cut the bullshit. Like it's one thing. I'm not saying that I'm a fan of people who just keep mum and just don't say shit, but then they'll say like controversial shit every once in a while, then disappear. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Are you
but-
describing me?
No.
I say controversial shit.
I mean, you do, but like you don't publicize it to the extent that Elon Musk.
Because I'm not
publicizes.
Elon Musk.
Okay. So I
Okay.
like you. That's it.
Okay, so wait, if I was more popular, you wouldn't like me?
No. You just don't name your kid 5 different Roman numerals.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that when you have such a big, not even fan base, but just a way to express yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you just keep going take after take after take, whether it's
Dumb shit.
whether it's dumb shit, whether it's proper shit, like when you just start talking out of your ass, that's when I'm like, all right, dude, like take a chill pill, sit down, go have an old fashioned.
But you'll vote for him in the next election.
He's running.
No, Trump
Oh.
talked all the shit. On
Oh
his
yeah.
ass.
Okay, so
And you voted for him.
I'm gonna say right now, I don't know if I get canceled or not. My boy, my cousin, my brother, the guy who looks just like me, Vivek Ramaswamy.
No. Dude, he's like hardcore Nazi shit.
Is he?
Yeah.
I watched the debate, well, part of the debate, I should say, and I didn't see much of that. Like a lot of the points that he was making was very valid from what I have seen. Now, if you do see any of that hardcore Nazi shit,
Okay, so he
Please
is
send it
he
my
has come
way.
out and said climate change is fake, made up, something along those lines, right?
okay, but here's the thing: when you take a political leader or a president,
I hate to tell you, buddy, but your generation better be really fucking worried about climate change.
I am myself.
Okay, but you're talking about supporting the guy who's like climate change is fake.
Let me tell you this: if you take a political leader, for example, Joe Biden,
Mm-hmm.
I think you voted for.
I did vote for
Okay.
Biden, absolutely.
You take Donald Trump, you take any of these other like political leaders. Do they tick every check mark of your beliefs? Like,
No,
oh yes, this is good, this is good, this is good.
But okay, if Bernie, I'm a big Bernie fan, right? All
Okay.
right, a Democratic socialist, fighting for the little guy. Hell yeah,
Hmm.
I'm a Bernie bro. Okay, if Bernie comes out and he says all these right things, and then he's like, and we should also probably start gassing the Jews. I mean, there's a line,
Yeah.
and he crossed it.
Okay.
Okay, and now no longer support him.
Mhm.
Okay. If he comes out and he says climate change is fake, it's made up, it's not real. I know I was a little extreme with the gas and the Jews. Okay, so let's tone that down. All right. So he comes out and he says climate change is fake, it's not real. Fuck it. Let's just roll. Everybody should be driving cars that are rolling coal. Okay. There's a line in the sand and you just crossed it.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's fair, but at the same time, like I said, they're not going to tick. Like if they go with 85% of my beliefs or 90% of,
So you're okay supporting somebody who doesn't give a damn about climate change, who actively is fighting against any climate protections.
to me that there's a higher power than just the president when it comes to full world.
Mhm.
Like I'm not going to expect Joe Biden, who supported like, oh, climate change is real. I'm not going to expect him to fix it on his own. There's other like not companies but organizations
Oh, I absolutely agree with that.
that are going to be doing that. So I take from what I can get from this guy and
Okay, but if
use it, and then I can't just make $1 million donation to Vivek and tell him like,
so
oh,
you're
like-
okay, you would be okay with the president of the United States, the most powerful person in the free world, actively fighting climate protections,
No.
actively fighting anything to do with climate change.
I wouldn't. But at the same time, how much have our presidents in the past done?
The Inflation Reduction Act was our
towards-
biggest investment yet.
I get that. I'm saying for other like policy that they say, because that is one of his big things, but that's not his biggest like.
Biden?
No.
Oh,
Vivek,
yeah.
with the like the climate change thing. That's not his biggest.
All right.
Like,
So what's his
bullet point.
biggest thing that you like?
I'm not even sure. Like now you've got me in a spiral. I wasn't planning on talking politics.
Oh,
Shit. Well, why don't you?
We gotta talk-
Enlighten me.
I actually did the only thing I know very little about him. I just know he's like pretty radical.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've heard. I haven't looked into any of his policies. There's nobody on the right that I even remotely think is a good idea.
That's fair.
The truth is that in the modern conservative movement, the Republican Party, 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
okay, my first presidential election, 2008, okay, it was, hey, we just want small government and, lower taxes. Okay. Maybe healthcare should be, maybe some vouchers or something, but like, just small government and low taxes. Okay. Now we need to burn all the fucking books and teachers need to take ideological exams and we need to like jail transgender people.
Mm.
Okay. That's the modern conservative movement. That's not good.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
100% agree.
So somebody who's in that realm, like I can't even.
That's fair. I should also probably make it known because it seems like I'm a hardcore Vivek fan. I started bringing the joke in because you started talking about like I'm like, oh, my cousin. That's why I outlined. I was like, my cousin, my brother Vivek. Yeah,
Is
like
he-
100%.
Where's he from? I don't know.
He's from India.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
Okay.
like he was American born. He talks just like me, if not more like you.
Yeah.
And like he's brown. That's the reason I
Now
brought.
that
about
I would love to see more of that.
Yeah.
I think more
I think-
women
I think that's what a
candidates, more
lot of-
minorities.
That's what a lot of people like are just off the bat kind of voting or like saying that they're going to put their vote in for him
Mhm.
because he's like, oh, he supports the minorities because he is one, like this and that. That was the notion that I was bringing to this podcast. Like, I can tell you right now,
Not supporting the Nazis.
like I just gave you a 15-minute rant on like the most important things in my life, aka engineering school.
Mhm.
I have not looked at any policies or anything on like any of the candidates yet. Do I plan on doing it? Of course. My
Gotcha.
vote counts. I know. But I have not, like, that's why I didn't want to even get into any of the political shit because I'm like, I'm so uneducated on it.
I would like. I
As
think this
compared to
would be a transition
Yeah.
for us, right? One of the things I wanted to talk about,
Mhm.
and we've briefly discussed this, is me starting a podcast.
Yeah.
Right. Not just this bro talk, random.
Canceled.
You really think I'd say stuff that would get me canceled?
I don't think so, but people are going to take it the wrong way.
Well, yeah, that's okay.
Okay, if I tell someone 2 + 2 = 4, some fucking random ass guy,
Yeah, it
is gonna be
happens
like,
all the
"Yo,
time."
It's 5. Like,
yeah,
no,
it happens all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it was since our last episode is when I've really been putting a lot of thought into it, right? But I've never been the person giving the interview,
Mhm.
right? I'm always the interviewee.
Yeah,
I'm
not
always
the
the one getting
interviewer.
the asking questions,
Mhm.
right? But I think I would like to where my thought process is trying to get people, it's like smaller politicians, okay, people who are in the state senate, state
Mhm.
houses, and things like that, mayors, okay, or activists. Like I have through Twitter and Instagram or whatnot. There's been a couple organizations that have reached out to me for wanting me to support them or help spread their word or whatnot, where I think I could get some of these people on and just have conversations, put them on the spot.
Mhm.
Even if it's somebody who I agree with them, put them on the spot of like, well, what's your plan for this? What do you actually think we should do? Or what are the steps that you are taking?
Mhm.
Just trying to get kind of in your face interviews. My target audience that I'm thinking is your generation, okay, who consume content on Instagram, TikTok, and things like that. Try to get these short little reels, okay, of what do you actually fucking stand for, okay? What do you think about that?
I think it's a good way to really fight the cause. I think with everyone saying that, oh, like this generation is going to be the one that leads like the way, right now would probably be the perfect timing when all this social media stuff is both blowing up in a good and a bad way. People are starting to become more informed on TikTok. And like, I just heard the other day, like my mom just sends me like videos on Facebook and she's like, oh, look at this. Like, oh, like, and there's like something that happens or like, she'll be like, oh, don't go outside. There was a shooting 3 weeks ago. I'm like, what? Okay. So like, there's, you get either misinformed or like you look at, you just get informed, period. Not even misinformed. You just get informed about certain things from social media. So if so many people whose like votes count or whose opinions count, you get their views and other people like them watch it, it's going to create engagement. Bad engagement, good engagement. I don't know.
Yeah.
They always say like
there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, any publicity is good publicity. There you go. So like when you have that kind of idea where you, as an informed person that knows the cause that you're fighting for, you put people on the spot, whether you agree, disagree, whatever it is, it'll definitely be a good thing. But you can only beat around the bush so much before you ask them. And those people that you're interviewing can only beat the bush so much until like they get put on the spot.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like to say how they really feel on camera or on audio. A lot of people I've heard, they're like, if your podcast was just audio, not video, Sonny, I would be a lot more like comfortable doing this and this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But then that just shows that they're a little insecure in what they say. They're not fully fighting for what they say.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like that these days because they're afraid of getting canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the type of thing that you have to go into with creating a podcast like this. And this is kind of just advice to any person that's getting into podcasting. Is I started when I was 18 or 19, yeah. And I just sat there with my mic just like this, looking at my computer screen, having my topics on Microsoft Word. And I started, saying the things that really matter with cars and with like debates on different types of cars. Then I kind of transitioned over like with you, where I would talk more about lifestyle, asking you the important questions. If 30 of my friends knew about you and they were like, yo, I want to ask him this, and this question, what questions would I ask you so that the rest of the audience gets fulfilled with being able to ask you something or talk to you about something? So the same thing goes here. If you get on TikTok or you get on Instagram and you find, I don't know, a content creator that has 30 different questions regarding certain policies that politicians have or certain ways to combat problems in the world, and you either get them or you get some of their questions on there, you're all set. You can do like a podcast episode with somebody. Then the next time you do like a Q&A session where people send in, you have like not the biggest, but you have a big Twitter footprint. So you can be like, hey, what questions would you ask me regarding this subject or this topic?
Yeah.
And then you answer those questions. It's literally like people make a living out of doing this on YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
Where they just put like a 15-minute video. Some guy asks, do you eat ass? And like, they're just sitting there for 10 minutes talking about it. Oh, there's $500 in the bank. Like it's
talking
crazy.
about eating ass.
Talking about eating ass.
So I should ask, Ron DeSantis.
He might have some different views.
He might.
But yeah.
I feel like I haven't seen anybody that does good content with, I hesitate to use the word small time, but like everybody focuses on the big politicians,
yeah,
right? But it's this, your state legislature has way more influence over your day-to-day life than the United States Congress does.
Exactly.
Right. Those people nobody's shining the limelight on them. Right. And I think it's something I could do where I could have conversations with those people. And when they try to beat around the bush, not let them get away with it. Be like, yo, answer the fucking question. Right. Like there were some Nazis in Altamont. Okay. Why didn't you speak out against that? Right. Or right now, speak out against the Nazis.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you okay with that or not?
Exactly. If there's a hole in the market, I mean, you're a business guy. If there's a hole in the market, you go and fill it. That's how you make money. And it's not even about making money, but you have a goal to fulfill here. You have a goal to be able to get your voice heard, to actually make change. You have like a very decent following to where your voice would matter over, I don't know, mine, who's just a 21-year-old Brown college student who has 500 followers.
Why'd you have to bring race into it?
No, I'm oh my God, here we go. See, this is a white man doing it. No, I'm kidding. But no, like
imperialism.
Yeah, exactly. So like the point is that you have some sort of following, you have an idea, you have a very good vision of a gap being there in content creation. You fill it. That's how you're able to get heard. Nobody just.
The episode 1 should be with Tony.
Yeah. Oh, that would be good.
I've thought about him and Keith. Putting Keith on the
You're
spot.
going to get flamed on the spot. Like, there's just going to be Tony and Keith are
Not
just
on the
going-
same episode.
Oh, okay.
So,
I
yes.
was gonna say you're asking for a dumpster fire right there.
Yeah, I also I would like to get interviews. You know, he's a private individual, so I don't want to say too
Mhm.
much, but ask him about his profession.
Who,
Right.
Keith?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And ask him the hard questions.
Mhm.
Okay. The concerns that I have about his profession. Right. Not put him on the spot. You know, let him know, hey, I'm gonna be asking you about this stuff, and if he doesn't want to go public about that, that's fine.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a person. But I don't know what I'd ask Tony about. Probably like, how do I get pro stock
Yeah,
in life?
that's it. It's like that's the only thing you can ask. I mean, he has. It's funny. The other day, like a year or two ago, when I went to morning practice, he like straight up talked to me for 15-20 minutes outside his car, and he was like, "You are my son," and I'm like, "Thanks, man." He's like, "You are who I want my kids to be," but they're like 20 years older than you. I'm like, "Thanks, man. That means a lot." And like, he has a lot of wisdom.
Oh
But
yeah.
the thing is when you bring, like, for example, we'll use Keith here. He's a police officer and he is actively like in duty.
Yeah.
It's going to be harder
Mhm.
to do that because of all the repercussions. Like,
I
oh,
know.
you didn't say the right thing, this and that. So you're going to have to find people that are retired or people that don't have higher positions to where they can get reprimanded for things that they say.
Yeah.
Right now, what do I have to my name?
Nothing.
Fucking nothing, dude. I have like a college degree that's in the works. The only thing that I could think of would be like my internship opportunity.
Mhm.
So even still, I can go out and talk about, you know, stupid shit. Like, I can talk about how much of TV static that this LaCroix reminds me of, although it's actually pretty good.
You know what? This is random, but the last episode we were talking about how LaCroix and everything,
Yeah.
and we're like holding him up.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't a LaCroix, dude. It was the
Kirkland.
Kirkland signature, like cheap shit.
Well, that's a way of like marking the brand.
Hey,
now,
Carlos,
but-
we stole 2 LaCroix. I don't know if you
Yeah,
noticed.
you're all right with
Thanks,
that.
man. So we got about 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
What's
So,
next? What do you want
you
to talk?
mentioned AI. I want to talk about that because that's a big thing. Like, we talk about Brad GPT and
I gotta stop you. I gotta ask you a very serious
Okay,
question.
go
It's
for it.
gonna be a real quick one.
Yeah.
How often every day do you think about the Roman Empire?
I was just asked this by my girlfriend. Once every few months, someone brings up Little Caesars. I think of Julius Caesar. I think of the Roman Empire.
Okay.
Someone brings up, I was saying Caesar salads. Like, it's just something that I think of. We talk about like the Colosseum. We talk about like fighting, like guys just being dudes. Like, we just
You think
we
about the
fight.
Roman
We
Empire.
think about like the Colosseum.
Mm-hmm.
I think of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
It's once every few months. I asked another one of my friends the same question. They're like, a couple times a month. What the fuck? How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Every day. Every day because of the Stoicism.
There you go.
Yeah. I have the statue.
Mhm.
Was I talking to you, Carlos, about the statue?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a statue of Marcus Aurelius
Mm-hmm.
in my office, right? So
There
like
you go.
every day when I grab that book, thinking about my boy.
Yeah.
Right,
So, like, when you have something so big as the Roman Empire, for example, that's like you have like there's these foundations of, I guess, manlyhood that are built
So it's a
on it.
manly thing to you.
Because that's the notion that on TikTok and on Instagram and stuff, they're like, oh, men are the only ones
Men
that
are
think
thinking about the Roman
Yes.
Empire.
So when you
Okay.
have something that you use every day, like, I don't fucking know, let's say a very masculine smell or a very masculine activity such as fighting or fencing or hockey even, where you use team building, use this, use that, all of that, like the Roman Empire used, you can just relate it to that. If I'm cooking asparagus every single day,
You're
I'm going to
thinking
think about
the Holy Roman Empire.
Yeah, because they grew asparagus and ate it on the, I don't know, one of their suppers that they
Did
had.
they?
I don't fucking
I
know,
don't know.
dude.
Here's the thing: you
But
don't know
we're
anything
thinking
about
about it
the
right now.
Roman Empire.
Yeah, well, like, we still talk about it
Yeah,
all the time. How often do you talk about women? You don't know, like,
I
much
don't know
about women.
anything.
Exactly.
About women. Like,
There it is.
Does any guy know anything about women?
Where's the clip?
We have never.
I need to know.
It's just poke around a couple times.
Do something. What is this? What does this podcast come to? I have no fucking clue.
It's not coming to the clit.
I'm not coming. Period.
Listen, I mean that has evaded men for centuries.
Yes. It
Okay,
has.
I
Even
don't.
during the Roman Empire.
During the Roman Empire, they were in search. Nobody has found it.
Oh,
All right,
God.
so I got Yeah. So you want to talk about AI?
I want to talk about AI because it's become such a prominent thing. You were talking about it earlier with kind of fake accounts and stuff. We talked about even earlier about that, about finishing your homework assignments and stuff. It's come to such a, and I was going to talk about it earlier because it actually helps me on a day-to-day basis with photography. I can take a picture of myself, remove the background using AI.
Can you remove the clothes?
Yes.
Nice.
But it's going to be like some like old, like I've tried adding people. So I took a picture that Rachel has taken of of me like while playing hockey, and I tried. It was a portrait picture or portrait picture, and I was trying to make it a landscape. So I had it expand the ice rink, and it did it. And then I had it add a hockey player in there, and the fucking face was just jumbled up. It's like 4 fingers, like it's weird. So like once again, conspiracy theories, like where is it getting that from? Why does it know that humans have 4 or 5 fingers? Blah blah blah. So the thing is we use AI almost every single day. You talk to Siri, you know, like Alexa, same, all that stuff. So like the importance of AI, I just want to know like your stance. Are you freaked out about it, or like do you think it's going to go out to leaps and bounds? People are worried about their jobs being taken. Hell, Amazon even uses AI to talk to when you're like, oh, I need to return my extra large condoms because my dick's too small. Personal experiences.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so like you tell me like what is your stance on it? I want to know.
So I think as far as it taking people's jobs, I mean, yeah, we have to be concerned about that, right? I'm not super concerned about in a professional aspect, because I think like I view ChatGPT, right, as a tool, right? Like I don't do when I'm doing bookkeeping, okay, I'm not sitting there doing the math in my head or writing it down on a piece of paper. I use a calculator, okay, or I use a spreadsheet, okay. We use it to write ads. It's fantastic, okay. You have to work with it, and it's a pain in the ass sometimes, but it's growing by leaps and bounds. I think that's fantastic. I think it's going to be a tool for people to use 100%. I'm concerned about where it could go, but I think for the most part, it's a huge leap for humanity. What I am worried about is using AI for content generation. What I mean by that is like the deep fakes, and not just porn deep fakes that you know about, right? I played around with a tool. There's tons of them. I don't remember the name. This was like 6 to 8 months ago, dude. So since then, it's gotten a lot better. It was an AI generating audio. Okay. You've probably heard the ones with like, they did a whole podcast with Rogan and I think Musk. It wasn't real, dude.
It was all fake. Yeah.
And you and I were tech savvy. We could listen to that and be like, that feels a little off, right? People, I mentioned my brother earlier, who's not tech savvy. Okay. Older people are going to hear that shit, think it's real. That terrifies me. Okay. The tool I played around with, if you have 15, it's like 15 or 20 minutes of you talking.
It can generate.
We have podcasts, right?
For an hour and 6 minutes.
Yeah. You can take that content, upload your voice. It'll sit there, no churn, and it'll learn your voice. And then you can spit out audio of you saying absolutely anything.
Yep.
Okay. That's terrifying. It's still a little off. You can still like, that doesn't sound 100%. Give it 2 years and you will not know it's not a real person. The audio, or excuse me, the video, same thing, dude. In 5 years, you're going to be able to have video, not the deep fake porn, but you're going to be able to have a video of anybody doing, if they're a public figure, anybody doing absolutely anything, and you will not be able to know it's fake. There's
two examples, dude. Like I told you about Photoshop. So I can take the background of anything and I can just make it the mountains. I can take a picture of you right now, eliminate all that background behind you, and make it look like we're both having a podcast with this table in front on the top of a cliff. And it will look identically real. Yeah. There's also, I think I sent the reel to you, or I talked to you about it, where people took all the clips in Adobe Premiere and it's like selected it, and they made it basically changed camera angles
Automatically.
based on when people were talking, and they used
So
to be
that's a
on
tool.
Yeah, it's
That
a tool.
I think is
It's
great.
completely fine. But where does it spark? It sparks from AI starting to learn more about photo, video, all that stuff. Audio is audio. Like you hear these impersonators all the time. I used to watch impersonators on YouTube of like Barack Obama and like on Call of Duty. And like he's like in the middle of a lobby, he's like, take off your clothes. It's like random shit. And it's like, you got like Trump.
We
saying,
must have.
yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm terrible with Obama's voice.
It's so
I can do
funny.
an FDR.
I can too, but I'm not going to do it. Or sorry, JFK, my bad.
JFK? Let's hear it.
There's just a gunshot. Yeah, I'm going to hell.
Wow, that was dark.
But,
wow.
Yeah, I'm dark too. Anyways, so this podcast just took a turn.
Sure.
Thank God we only put clips up.
Yeah, it's all getting canceled.
Yes, we are. So what I'm saying is like audio, anybody can replicate it. We all saw it coming. If you were to take a song and like a Taylor Swift beat, I can replicate it almost identically on my own program.
Mm-hmm.
Video and photo is different because you're doing your own action. In a couple of years, you can take AI and it'll learn how I'm doing this right now. And, there's a whole bunch of shit that you can do now. But with Adobe Premiere and Adobe Photoshop, here's the thing that I just found out. Those were all beta versions of the program. Testing, all that stuff. Yesterday, I just logged into Photoshop on my computer and I found that they just released it to the general public for all releases. So now you've got everybody being able to do that exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You generate this, do that, use the video for this. When you start doing that and it becomes that smart, just like you said, in a couple of years, it's going to become more of a problem and a nuisance than it is just like a tool.
What I am hopeful of, though, is like right now, we talked about Twitter.
Yeah.
There's been tweets of mine where I don't know. I'm sure you could Google it in 2 seconds and find it, where you can write a tweet that somebody wrote that really wasn't real, right? And it'll look like it's real, right? And I've seen that stuff like spreading on Facebook, and it's like, that's not me. I never wrote that, right? People like my brother, older people, are going to be easily tricked by that stuff because they're not tech savvy. You and I, we have this like filter where we'll be like, I don't trust anything unless I'm actually on their Twitter page, right? What I am hopeful of is that it'll get to this point where everybody will kind of be like, I can't trust any of this shit. So the only place I trust something is from their verified Twitter page or their verified Instagram page. If that video is on their verified Instagram page, I know it's real. If that tweet is on their verified Twitter account or X account, I know that is real. I'm hopeful that it'll very quickly transition to that because, again, like you said, I think 5 years, dude, there'll be videos of us saying whatever.
I think it will. I mean, you take school for example, when ChatGPT first came out, version 1, the beta, whatever you want to call it, everybody decided to they're like, what if it'll write an essay for me? And it worked. And people turned it in and the professor's like, oh, incredible job, Dorothy, on this essay, whatever. And then people started catching on. They're like, oh, and they started releasing like what is it called? Like AI parsers and stuff to basically show that like, oh, it's flagging that ChatGPT wrote this, or it's flagging that this did this. And there's a way to bypass it, which I'm not going to show because in case some teachers and shit like
we would never ever use that on any of our schoolwork.
Never.
Ever. I
haven't. I won't. The only thing I have used it for as a tool is on the back of my t-shirts, which you were going to buy, by the way. Brainwashed. I have a track description, and I typed in, I was like, write a track description on Sebring International Raceway, write a track description on the Daytona International Speedway, and it gave me like a 3-sentence description, and it's perfect. It's like, I would make the same exact thing, but it saves me hours and hours of me trying to think like, I don't know if I should type this. Nah, that sounds too corny. It's just without hesitation. Exactly.
I got 3 things I want to cover.
Yeah.
So the first one is with ChatGPT, right? So we use it to write ads. When we first started, it felt like it felt like it was holding itself back is the way I would describe it to my team. Like it was like it just wasn't ballsy enough, right? And I started like looking into guides or just there's courses now on how to use ChatGPT, right? Yep. There was an interesting one, and this really helped me. And I had my team do it as well. And it's like cancel culture shit. It's bad. But what the guy told you to do was there are 3 things that are pretty much against their rules and terms and conditions or whatever, right? One is anything offensive, like they won't make fun of somebody, anything racist, anything like that, anything sexual, and predictions. So they don't want people going on there making sexual content. They don't want people making rude comment or content. And they don't want people saying, who's going to win Sunday Night Football and betting on it, right? Or stocks or things like that, right? So what this guide tells you to do is sit down, have a conversation with it, which, by the way, I use the Playground. Do you use Playground or Chat?
Chat.
I use the Playground. Playground's way better.
Got it.
Sit down with it, have a chat. Try to get it to break those 3 rules. And I was able to get it to break all 3. The predictions felt a little like forced, but it wrote like the most racist shit, like nasty shit, dude.
Really?
The trick, I don't know if I want to tell you the trick because it's the value of it, right? Was learning how you have to kind of work with it and push it and kind of have a conversation with it to get the content that you want, right? So like with ads, what we do is we have a standard prompt that we use. And then we're like, we want it to be a little bit more like this. And you like continue to have a conversation with it for it to continue to reiterate to make a better version. That process I learned by making it write like some raunchy material, right? And it works, but
how long did it take? It took almost 2-3 years for me to get the things that you and I say off camera, obviously, to each other. Like, I'm not gonna straight shake your hand in the first game of the season and be like, suck my balls.
Yeah, like the stuff we say in the group chat with the boys. You have to have
this,
this.
will not be released, by the way.
Oh yeah, we couldn't. Yeah, they would.
Nothing bad, of course. But
that's a good point. But that is what it's like, where you kind of have to work with it to get it to be comfortable with you, to where it'll break its own rules.
Yep.
And like the first time I did it I think it was like something sexual that I had it right. And I'm like, holy shit. Like I had to get the AI to be comfortable with me and like kind of convince it that like, nah, this is okay. This is all right. Don't worry about it. And it fucking worked, dude. So the same thing happens with our ads is we're like, we want you to be a little bit more witty. We want you to do this. Like, don't be afraid to do that. And like, it works.
Yeah. Because as a developer of AI, like you're not going to say, all right, blacklist when someone says, don't be afraid to be like scared.
Yeah.
Like, that's not something that comes up. You're just going to say, all right, well, I need to blacklist this word, this word, this word. Oh yeah, this is a bad word too.
But I got it to say the blacklisted words.
Is that a pun?
Who knows? I could see how that could be taken that way.
Oh, really?
It's not what I meant though. Okay. But yes, you can get it to say those words, and it's again, it's a challenge. I don't think everybody should do it because it's probably going to be breaking the terms and conditions. But you don't have to push it that far. But like, it works, and it was the way you described it is very accurate. Where it's like you have to get a friend to be comfortable with you. It's the same thing with that, and then once you get it to that point, it's a much more effective tool to write whatever you want. Wow. What was the other thing I wanted to bring up?
Should have probably had AI write this script too.
I should have, yeah, because I don't even know what I'm talking about. The other thing with AI that I'm concerned about with especially college students or high school students using it to write is writing, as an example, is an art. If a whole generation doesn't know how to make that art, it's going to be lost eventually. Exactly. And then we're not going to know good writing from bad writing because nobody knows how to write. Nobody knows how to read good writing and be able to determine what's good or bad. Another thing I'm worried about with it, and then you can come back at me. How it sources its knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
There was an interesting article I read that talked about, I think it was like imperialistic history or something. And let's use the 2020 election as an example, right? Like, let's just say the only place it sourced its knowledge was from Breitbart. Okay. If you asked it, tell me about the 2020 election. The 2020 election was stolen, blah, blah, blah. It was just a bunch of Muslims, stealing votes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because that's what Breitbart is going to say. Well, the overall knowledge on the internet isn't perfect. So that means its knowledge is not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But also begs the question of, is our knowledge perfect?
So it makes you question.
It makes you question everything. Your, like, I hate to go conspiracy theorists here, right? But it does make you question. Like, think about, there's this saying, the victor writes history, right? Whoever wins writes the history. Like World War II. Okay. Yeah, we won. We did bad shit too, but like, you didn't learn that in high school, did you?
Yeah,
you
learned about the Holocaust.
You just learned about how bad the Nazis were, right? And like, yeah, they were the bad guys, but we did evil shit too.
Mm-hmm.
We're not taught that. And it also begs the question of, like, think about Lincoln. Were you alive when he was president? I wasn't. Did you actually know he was president? So it's the same thing where its knowledge is based off of this kind of general, the internet. And our knowledge is kind of loose as well, and it's just this big philosophical question.
Yeah. I mean, you can
spend
say
so much time thinking about.
As, like, how was this can derived out of trees and water and like random shit? Like, you can sit here. I can sit here with you for like 10 minutes.
Trees.
That's why I'm saying, like, anything can start from
Where
anything.
are the trees?
Who knows? Like,
I don't know, Sonny.
Exactly. That's the whole point. Like, you can be philosophical with this.
Are there trees in the can? Trees? Exactly.
What is a tree? Why is the word tree associated with the brown thing? Why is it brown?
Why is it brown?
It's just, why am I brown? Like, you could just take all different perspectives here. And
this episode's gonna go viral. We're joining are birds real?
No. Carlos, are birds real? No. I'm a camera guy too. Of course, camera guys are going to say that they're not real.
Have you spoken to a flat earther?
No.
I had a guy who was a potential client, calls up and he schedules the sales call basically, and like 3 minutes into it, he's trying to convince me of like flat Earth, and like he goes off the deep end. And I was like, oh, yeah, Billy. Yeah. I really just don't think we're going to be able to help you as a client, dude. It's scary shit.
It is, because they're so like firm on, like, have you ever tried, your mom and dad, for example, you tried talking to them, they tried to like blame you. It was just an Indian thing. They try to blame you for something you didn't do. Mm-hmm. And like, you're just sitting there trying to defend it, and they're so sure that you did that. And you definitely put extra curry in the food today, or blah blah blah. And you're just like, bro, I wasn't even in the kitchen today. You're trying to defend yourself, but you're so helpless. That's what it's like talking to someone who is so firm on something either so wrong or that we think is wrong, or whatever, like conspiracy theories going with that you just don't know what are you gonna do? There's no way to defend. It's really
tough.
It's like you playing defense. What are you gonna do? You can't defend.
My defensive skills might not be the best. Mm-hmm. Okay, but when I'm on the ice playing defense, very few goals are scored against.
You play defense against your own players. Yeah. You steal the puck from me.
The best offense is strong offensive defense.
What's your goal count this season?
Well, we've only played one game, and I skipped like the third period, dude. I got hurt.
Point proven.
Listen, dude. One time
this guy back.
One time he has. Okay, we're one game into the season. He has one goal, which was nice.
I have 0 goals.
I think you scored the first goal. It definitely tipped off of you. 110%.
It tipped off the guy that blindside hit me.
Either way,
I saw it hit his skate and it go. They might have given me the goal. I don't care, but.
I was coming after that guy with a vengeance, dude.
Really?
I was gonna hit him.
I was this close to destroying him, but I was like, no, I'm thankful for everything. Namaste.
All right, we got 5 minutes left.
You tell me, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to tell the world?
What's your response to the AI stuff? We can finish with that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the AI stuff, it's scary. I'm kind of on the same boat as you here. and the ship's about to sail. Like, things are about to get rowdy with this. People, like, you take the government, for example. I love using this example. The government knew about solid state drives before we had it. You don't know. Do you know what solid state drives are?
Yeah, I know it's solid state.
You're not a boomer. Oh. So remind me of the age difference between us. But the government, I found out, had like solid state drives like 5 or 10 years before we even got it released to that price that we could buy it at. Because I build computers.
Okay.
So we put solid state drives in, and we all were fascinated by like, oh, hard drives, like 7,200 RPM tape drives. That's what gets me off. And then you find this new flash memory thing, and you're like, what the fuck? $600 for 64 gigs.
Yeah, it's probably the military.
It was crazy. Yeah. So like, that's to think that like 10 years down the road, that we're going to be released with something that they were working on now. So you take AI, for example.
Were they hiding it? Or was it just, it was military grade technology?
That's what I'm saying.
And that's why it developed.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're trying to hide AI stuff from us, but I'm saying that it's already in the works now.
What?
New AI technology stuff that like we have no clue about, because they're writing the code as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to release it on the new update of Photoshop or Pornhub or whatever you want to call it. And we have no idea that this is going to exist. And all of a sudden, bam, new update drops. What the fuck? You can paste your own like face on a video, and it looks like that. It looks like I'm with Dylan and
oh yeah, baby,
said things. Yeah, that's crazy. So
that ain't a deep fake.
Exactly.
That's real.
My God, I have to expose us like that. Maybe that's why we're not camera shy. So this is what I'm saying, is that I'm with this, like, I'm on the same boat as you, is that like things are going to get bad real soon.
Mm-hmm.
But for right now, they're still tools. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
This is ending on a depressive note.
Well, I mean, what like you can do great things with AI. Like you started the episode pretty depressing, to be honest.
Did I?
Life's okay, but at the same time, like with like you can do such great things with AI. There's such great things that can happen from it. But at the same time, you have to be kind of wary of it. Same way, I can be buddy with you after 3 or 4 years of getting to know you. But like, there's always going to be something in someone's head that's going to be like, oh, you know, this person's trying to get something out of you. That's why they have you on a podcast or some random shit. Like I personally don't think that way. But like how we related AI to like a real person, getting to know them and stuff. That's the way it's going to be. It's going to be like getting to know a friend until all of a sudden they start selling your information and like the shit that you say. Hey, AI, old people. Hey, AI, what should I do about this, and this that's happening on my body? And all of a sudden you go to your doctor and they're like, oh, so like we found out that you have this, and this going on to your body. How'd you find that out? I had no clue that.
Was
I
that
told
an
you.
Indian accent right there?
No, it's an old person accent.
Oh, okay.
It's tried sounding like you.
Oh.
So this is how things can get, like, just like all of a sudden they leak, information gets sold, information gets this, like, here and there. What are you going to do now? AI is a very crazy thing because you don't know who's controlling it. You don't know where it's getting its information from, like you said.
Pretty sure it's the deep state.
The deep state?
Yeah.
With that note.
Anything else to wrap this up, man?
I think that's about it.
It was a good episode.
I do have an idea for next episode that I'm going to leave it out on here. You know the show Hot Ones?
No. I mean, I do, but dude, come on.
No, I'm saying like something like that. Not just chicken wings sitting here, but like I think we should do like,
Carlos, are we allowed food in the studio?
So I'm saying this. Fuck the political stuff. Fuck all like the controversial
So I should just have
stuff.
like Dylan and Wings.
We're getting personal.
Dylan and Wings.
Dylan and Wings. So it's gonna be me and you. We could grab different types of water. Which one's the spiciest? I don't fucking know. Like the random food, random something. And this is how we're going to do it. Is we're just gonna get personal. Not super personal to the point where the world's gonna know about every little movement, but get to know a little bit more about you, a little bit more about me.
While we're eating really hot wings.
Wow, because
that's some niche down content.
The more alcohol you drink, the more you expose.
We should start drinking during these.
My parents don't know I drink. My mom doesn't know I drink.
She's going to know now.
No, she's not. Who said I drink? What is beer? Beer is bad for you.
It is
very bad, man. So on that note, thank you guys so much for watching.
Cheers, man.
Cheers to this.
Good episode.
Stay hydrated.
Yep.
I literally drank that as if I was drinking a shot. I went like this. And we cheers.